All right, so you're ready to buy your first house. So exciting. However, I need you to pause just for a second and just watch the series of videos that I'm gonna create. Or if I haven't created the whole series yet, watch this first one and then go find another really great realtor on YouTube that I'm sure I will find a link for and put in the comments at some point when I get better at this whole YouTube thing. But at least take the time to do your research before you go out and actually start looking at homes. It sounds exciting and fun and you want to do all of the things, but understand that buying a house can be aggravating at times and there are hiccups that we can come across along the way. And it's just not all rainbows and butterflies like we see on HGTV. So hopefully this series will help you understand the whole process so that when you do get out there in the market and you are looking and you walk into that house that you love, you're not overwhelmed with an insane amount of questions about what it's going to take for you to write up a contract. The first part of this series is why it's important that whether you are buying a house or selling a house, you have your own representation. So your own representation means that a buyer has a buyer's agent and a seller has a seller's agent, and that each one works with their own parties, rather than having a listing agent that is also working with the buyer, and in that case, they are known as a dual agent. It is my opinion that dual agency is next to impossible, because as a dual agent, we are not allowed to advise either party. We are just allowed to be the middleman that basically writes up the contract. You as a buyer, you need that advice. How much should you offer? How long has the house been on the market? What are the comps in the area? All of that is so important to know. As a seller, you need to know, is this buyer pre-approved? How strong is their credit? What's the realtor they're working with like? There's so many different questions. And so making sure that if you're going to list your house, you have that discussion up front with your agent about what happens if you have a buyer that comes along that wants to buy my house. How do you handle that situation? And as a buyer, same conversation, but in a different way, in saying, what if you list a house that I want to look at? Can you still show it to me? Who writes up the contract? How does all of the negotiation work? So there's ways around it. Even if I were to list a house today and you come along and decide that you want to buy it, there are ways to make that work without putting me in a dual agent situation, and making sure that you have fair representation and making sure the seller has fair representation. So number one in this series is just to make sure that as a buyer, you have your own representation, and as a seller, you have your own. And this is Ashley Nicole with the Ashley Nicole Realty Group and MP Dodge Real Estate. I am serving the Omaha metro area, specializing in Fremont Valley, Waterloo, Elkhorn, and surrounding areas. So if you or someone you know is looking to buy a house or sell a house and you're not from our area, please reach out. I'd love to talk with you. I'd love to share information about our area with you. And if you're moving out of this area and you need an agent in another part of the United States, please still reach out, because I would be happy to connect you with somebody that I have a relationship with in different areas of the country. So like and subscribe below.